well as I also worked on my very first voice direction job was Fallout New Vegas Dead Money DLC, and I did a lot of work on Fallout 76 in its early days as well. So I have spent many a year among the super mutants and the ghouls of life.
Awesome. And just to my right here, we've got longtime voice actor Michael Rawson. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, thank you. I hope everybody else is well as well.
And you're really our OG ghoul expert here. What are some of the
Well,
characters that you had voiced in Fallout 3?
I'm all over Fallout 3 as most of the ghouls. See, I'm Gob, I'm Sharon, I'm several other incidental ones.
Colin Moriarty!
And Colin Moriarty, of course I am. That was a real pleasure doing all those voices. I did a lot of incidental ones, but Moriarty is a big one, and of course Gob is one of the first people you see, I think. And let's see, there was also Professor, the giant ant professor. Oh, what's his name?
Oh, is it Professor Lesko?
Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite recall it
Yeah.
there. And a couple others. So I can safely say I'm all over Fallout 3. And what a wonderful time that was. And in
You were
Fallout
also
4,
in 4 as the
yeah, the voice of Radio Freedom mostly,
Yep.
and other incidentals. Yeah, Radio Freedom. Let's be careful out there. That was always fun too. You know, the gang there was groovy.
Jan
Yeah.
Johns.
Yes.
Hi, Jan.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. And tell us how you first got involved in Fallout. What was your first Fallout?
Wes actually coached me for my first audition for any video game, and that was Fallout 3. So it's all because of Wes Johnson.
No way.
it's
Even-
all because of you.
Got
It's
a
'cause of
chance.
you.
No, buddy. It's because of you. So and then I went in and I don't know if anybody who worked on Fallout 3 had this experience, but mine was they kind of threw you in the room and gave you a bunch of scripts and just kind of like had you voice a bunch of characters to see what ended up working. Did anybody else have that experience?
Like
Yep.
throwing the spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was terrifying, but wonderful. Like you learned so much so quick. And then you learned quick what didn't work. I'll tell you that.
Right.
I'll tell you that right there. Yeah. So Fallout 3, and then I was lucky enough to be able to work on Fallout 4 and do some also work also on Fallout 76. So Fallout family, I'm very
Yeah.
grateful.
Awesome. Just below me, Alex Cazares, the woman who has so much energy, I wish I could bottle it and drink it every day.
Hey friends! Rose here with the traffic and weather. Looks like almost everyone's still dead, so traffic's at a standstill. That's one of my favorite lines. I'm Alex Cazares, I play Rose, and thank you for having me. Was there a question
Alex
attached?
literally is Rose the Raider from the game. There's no difference from the personality from the real Alex.
Yeah, stab, stab, stab. All right.
And Mr.
Yep,
Keith
pop filter.
Farley.
Hey, everybody.
Ooh, boo. Boo.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Everyone's favorite villain.
Who earns? I will kill your spouse and steal your baby.
I
As
mean,
one does.
at least you're a man of your word.
And you'll think that I'm a bad guy until you step inside my mind.
We've got quite a few Keith stands in the community that love Kellogg.
Oh, that's perverted.
Have you ever been
I
on
love
Tumblr?
Tumblr
Bring me the
loves
fan
Kellogg.
fiction.
Yeah, was that and that was your first character in Fallout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was one that they kept a very good secret from me. I had no idea
That's awesome.
who it was and what I was playing until much later. Actually, I think I went to lunch with another friend of mine who was like, did you get that code name, whatever it was? I was like, yeah. He goes, you know what that is, right? I was like, no. He's like, Fallout. I was like, oh. But they gave me a chance to be Batty. I don't even know that I thought of him as a villain.
No,
I don't
you
even think
can't.
that was revealed to me. It was just this sort of be kind of noir-y and keep it dark and sort of deep and, cigarettes and whiskey. And I was like, oh, I can do that.
Because I knew that, we were ultimately going to get a look at into his mind and, feel sympathy for this guy who, we are pursuing as if he's the worst guy on earth for most of the first act of the game. I very deliberately didn't want you to think of him as a bad guy because, there was a tendency in games at that time, because that was still towards the tail end of a time when, like, in game VO, we were really making sausage. Like, we were moving as fast as possible. It's a little better these days, but back then, it was just cover ground, cover ground, cover ground. There had been a tendency on projects I'd been on to, like, we record something with the first batch of scripts and we're like, what a bad guy. And they don't give us any more context than that, right? And then later we learn, like, oh no, this was a lie all along. But unfortunately, we already played it the other way. Fallout was the first video game of any size that I was involved in where, Fallout 4, I should say, was the first game of any size where the VO was iterative. So they started early rather than doing it all at once at the end. And so instead of it being like, yeah, we made the entire game, now you're going to do 3 months of VO at top speed, 4 studios, and then it's done. They brought us in on like day 2 of the project and started, they'd write a little bit and send it to us, and we'd record it, and they'd put it in the game, and they'd make adjustments. And it created this really unique opportunity for the actors. And again, now it's pretty standard in games to do this, but back then it was very unusual for, like, the actors were able to influence the writing of their characters with their performances. They would get material back, and then they would sort of adjust tone to fit. And that actually happened, I think, quite a bit with Kellogg. And once they saw what you did with him, our third session with him was a lot different than that first one.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that was the first time I really had the ability to know, like, okay, he's not what he appears to be, and I know that on day 1 rather than on our last day when the
On
scripts
day
show
74.
up. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was cool.
Still one of my favorite sessions ever was going through that stuff with you. It was
Yeah.
really just to be able to have the freedom and the time and to really kind of dig deep. And
Yeah, well, you did such marvelous work. I
it was
mean,
fun. It was really fun.
it'll come as no surprise to anybody
rich.
that Keith is an amazing actor and that it makes a director's job extremely easy when he's in the booth. So
There was some very nice gravitas with that character. And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
very layered. It's nice.
He's carrying a bunch of weight. Yeah.
Hmm.
Literally.
The gravity makes the gravitas work. Yeah.
Yeah. Gravity and its opposite, comedy or levity.
Moving
Levity.
right along down row, Krish Shula. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
So, yeah. So, I Fallout 3 was my way to get back into gaming. So I used to be a trainer in LA when I was pursuing on-camera acting, thinking I was going to be a star at some point.
You are a star.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then, but I had a client who I would play the game with him while I was training him. So he would do a set, and then we would play for 4 or 5 minutes, and then he would do a set, and then we would play for 4 or 5 minutes. So it was a good situation for me. The money kept coming, and I'm like, this game is awesome. So I started playing, and then I was imitating the ghouls as we were playing. And he goes, that sounds really good at a certain point in time. So then fast forward three years later, I see the audition and I could see the copy on the page and I'm like, this is Fallout. And obviously it had a code name. I'm like, I know this game. Let's rock this out. And then it wasn't until 9 months later, 9 months that I booked Fallout New Vegas. So that started it all. So it's been, I think, 35 plus characters in all these
Nice.
games since then. The only hole is I was not on Fallout 4 because I would say I didn't have a good relationship with my agent. So as soon as as soon as I saw the party with Cal and Emil and all these people partying with all the leads,
You're like,
I said,
no.
okay. I said they're gonna have DLCs. So I hit up Emil and I'm like, you don't know me yet, but now you're going to. And then I'm in a bunch of Far Harbor. So that's, they saw it. Oh, that's our New England legit New England audio video game guy. Let's get him in this thing.
Well, you and
Uh-huh.
Emma with that Boston thing, right?
He grew up he's from Southie, and I'm from Everett, which is just to the north of Charlestown. So like I'm on the northern cusp and he's on the southern cusp within the city.
You can actually visit Emil Pagliarulo's apartment from when he was like in his 20s in the game. It's in there. They
Yeah.
showed me once. That
Wait, really?
Awesome.
Yeah, well, his apartment from his early 20s is an environment you can go to and Fallout 4.
And
they
I
didn't change
recently
anything. It still looked
um,
like a wasteland back then.
They spruced it up a little.
for Audible, I'm narrating some Lovecraft. I narrated 3 shorts recently for Lovecraft, and Pickman's Diary.
Pickman's Model.
Pickman's Model
Pickman's
was
Model.
one of the ones that I narrated, and that's in Fallout. So that was like really fun, like to know that and to be a part of that, like having that whole kind of, oh my God, this is cosmic.
That's so cool. And last but not
That's really
least,
cool.
in any regard, the man for whom we're all here for, Mr. Wes Johnson.
Hey, everybody. Thank you guys all for coming and doing this. First of all, I mean, it's fantastic to be a part of this. And this series is incredible. I mean, it's just tasty. They've done a wonderful job with it, and everybody's going to be so thrilled and excited by it. But I'm thrilled and excited by the whole Voicepalooza Fallout for Hope thing we're doing for to battle Alzheimer's disease. I mean, we're going to go VATS on this stuff. We're going to take this stuff out, and I encourage you guys to donate any little bit you can. The amount of a cup of coffee, $1, whatever you can, it all adds up. And by the end of this, we're going to be helping people who are caregivers. We're going to be helping research for Alzheimer's. Last year, we raised over $51,000 to help fight Alzheimer's disease. And that's because of all the gamers, the streamers, the voice actors, the directors. This community came together in a real way, and we had fun for funds. So we have a good time and we help people at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm very excited. And I'm just so proud to have been a part of this and to have been a part of Fallout from the beginning. My inner super mutants come out to fight this thing. You know, we battle Alzheimer's, and I'm gonna be like, no, win again. And you know, Mo Cronin wants to get out and get that SWAT and take care of things, knock some people out, you know, like the baseball way. So everybody out there, get your silver shroud on. Let's go for justice. Let's beat the Alzheimer's disease, and let's have some fun in the meantime.
Well said.
Yo,
Well,
here.
I hope everyone has their popcorn, because we're going to dive in here into episode 1 of the Fallout Amazon TV series. And I am just really excited to share it with you all. So for those of us who are watching in chat, if you want to join us in the Discord watch party, for obvious copyright reasons, we can't put it here on Twitch. However, if you come through to the link that I just dropped there, you can join our Discord watch party here in a moment. And I'm going to share my screen. This should work. Share with that and share sound. Yep. Whoop, that rearranged everything. 1 second. Okay, chat, did that fix? Let me resize. There we go. Oh, did that freeze the window? Hang on 1 second. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right. Here we go. You all can see and hear that?
Yep.
Awesome. The Radiation King TV.
Great start.
Minding my business when out of an orange colored sky. Wonderful you came by.
Walton Goggins, one of the best actors ever, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great. A huge Justified fan.
I was blown away by his performance in this.
Yeah. This is going to make him an even bigger star than he already is.
100%.
I've been rewatching The Shield.
I love him on the Righteous Gemstones as well.
Uncle Baby Billy! Dude, I can't think of his real name now. It's just Uncle Baby Billy to
Uncle
me.
Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy and Fallout and Justified.
It looks so beautiful. The time period, it's like it comes directly out of the game.
I loved seeing the pre-war world in Fallout 4. I hope we get even more of that in Season 2.
Let's get a photo of you up here on Sugarfoot. Why the hell is Cooper Howard working kid's birthday?
Real vivid colors.
What else? Alimony.
What'd they say, Dad?
And I'm lucky to have such a good helper like you. All right, you ready? It's good. All right, good. Here we go, bud.
Hey, honey, get with Cooper. Let's get a picture.
You bet, yeah. All right.
Oh, Coop, do your thumbs up.
Yeah, you know, given the state of everything, I prefer not to if that's all right.
Why not? That's what you're famous for.
Drop
Yeah.
it, Bob?
We gotta get this rodeo on the road.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Howard.
Pleasure was all mine, ma'am. I hope your son had a lovely birthday.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Who's ready for cake?
All right, you ready, Janie? Come on. There you go.
Pinko.
Yeah. He still took my money.
There's so many Easter eggs. The set design throughout in this was just insane.
And I have a message in our chat for you.
Al, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I can't do the weather if I don't even know if there's going to be a next week.
Happy thoughts
I'm not
today.
Coca-Cola bottle Sugar Bob presents Grognak the Barbarian.
Oh, wait 1 second.
Oh, hey, Grognak. And I see that they've also got the weird, gigantic atomic cars in the background.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think that's everything.
I love their cathode ray tube there.
Oh, it's grown-up stuff. Well, back when I was in the Marines, they taught us that if they ever drop a really big bomb, they told us to hold up your thumb just like this. And if the cloud is smaller than your thumb, then you run for the hills.
And if it's bigger than your thumb?
They told us not to bother running.
Do you think it's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Or
Kiss
shadow.
your ass
I certainly
goodbye.
hope not. But us cowpokes, we take it as it comes, right?
Was that in the video game? I don't remember that.
Travis likes
That's
that?
actually
It's a
a
whole
real
new story.
Let me see.
That thumb thing isn't. They didn't make that up for this. That's atomic era. It's an actual rule of thumb.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
That's
Oh,
nice.
that goes.
Whoopsie.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Thumbs up, baby. Thumbs up.
Cowgirl.
Is it your thumb or mine?
Oh.
Oh.
Literally chills.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He just moved through the
It's
glass.
smoke, Janie. It's just a fire.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Love it.
So much for friendship.
Reminds me of that classic Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. Well, do you remember The Day After back in the early 80s?
I
Giddy up.
I am a silver.
That car.
That's only 1 horsepower right there.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna die from a electromagnetic pulse. Just rot later.
You see this? You see this, Ken? They're dropping every episode at once, just like that.
Oh, come on. Too soon. Too soon.
All gone.
Whoa.
Nice.
I love
Nice.
the logo sting that they did here.
Anybody else getting chills?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great intro.
Yeah.
219 years
yeah.
later.
My name is Lucy McLean, and I'm an active contributor to the well-being of my community. Repair skills. I enjoy participating in the Young Pipers Association, which keeps me active. Science skills. Obviously, mine are nothing compared to my dad's, but I always relish a challenge. Speech skills. My primary passion
I
is
love
teaching
that they're
American
running through the
history with a focus
stats.
on ethics.
Yep.
I also participate in the gymnastics club, fencing team C, intermediate phys ed, and I dabble in riflery. Though I'm not very good.
Not very good.
In my personal time, I enjoy taking walks and watching movies with my dad. Gardening, also with my dad. And participating in my family book club. We're still trying to get my brother on board. He'll come around when he's ready. My reproductive organs are intact, my hygiene well maintained, and
Jesus.
yes, I have been unable to find a suitable marriage
Leslie
partner.
Uggams.
At least one I'm not related to, and we have rules about that for a reason. So, it is with sound mind and body that I hereby submit my application to the council to participate in the triennial trade with Vault 32.
The suits look great.
The set design is just insane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta figure, like, unlike a book you're adapting where everything's been in our imagination for its entire lifetime, you know, they've had some of the most incredibly talented artists in games visualizing this world down to individual objects, coins, you know,
Right.
for 20 years, you know. So there's a lot to.
The feeling that it was stuck in a certain time period. The music and the aesthetics of it.
Yeah, there's a. I mean, they have the benefit of an enormous amount of tonal reference that, you know, has been developed over the years.
And little things like this,
That's
little
a
touches like this,
sweet
everyone sharing the same wedding dress, signing it. Those are nice little ads that they're putting in there. It really personalizes.
Won't be for long. On my wedding night, that dress got off almost as fast as Bert did.
Oh,
Oh gosh. After 10 years of cousin stuff, I'm definitely excited for the real thing.
Oh, Lucy.
Jesus.
I am just excited for us to raise our kids
Cousin
together.
stuff.
world building.
That's a Fallout 76 reference.
Yeah. I love this holographic atrium.
Very Wizard of Oz influence.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
The Telesonic.
It's crazy that they built this. Like, this is practical, amazing set design. Could you imagine walking around through there?
It's like hopeful dystopia
Yeah.
For now.
for now.
Gosh, just like your mother.
Mwahaha.
I wish she was here.
Me too.
Were you scared? When you married Mom?
Me? Terrified. Well, I'd never stepped foot outside Vault 31
When did it go away?
the moment I met your mother.
I really like how that opening with the cowboy and the bombs brought the sort of horror of the war
On Vault 31
really front and center. One of the things I've worried about working on Fallout as the franchise matures
Overseer?
is, like, particularly with 76, where there's like activities related to the dropping of the bombs,
Yeah.
is, you know, Fallout is meant to be like a cautionary social satire about the horrors of war. And, you know, it's like any modest proposal, right? Like, you worry people are going to not get it. You know what I mean? And I sometimes wonder if the franchise hasn't been a little too cavalier with that stuff. So I like that they opened up with something really, really upsetting.
Oh, with like
That's the hard part about keeping it lighthearted as well as being so dang heavy.
Yeah, doing dark humor well is balancing on the edge of the knife, because sometimes it can be too goofy and downplay some of the more serious tones.
Right.
How spot on is this vault?
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like 1-to-1 where they just scaled
Just like you
every
imagined,
asset they
yeah.
made into the game.
Jet.
Honestly, textbook Tumblr jam. It's gonna take
I
some
wonder if they
time
actually
to
took any of the
fix.
3D
Probably best
models
if we
and like
reschedule with the 32
printed
till
them,
maintenance and
like dropped them into CAD from Bethesda, or whether they built it all fresh.
Oh, it's cousin stuff.
Oh,
We all know that, Jet. Messing around with your cousin, it's all well and good for kids, but it's not a sustainable long-term sexual practice, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Aw. Poor cousin.
They can't have a sustainable long-term sexual practice together.
Shame, sort of.
Someone in chat saying, "Help me, step cousin."
Wow.
That iconic vault door opening.
Right.
Welcome, neighbors from Vault 32. I am Hank McLean, overseer of Vault 33.
Lee Moldaver, overseer of 32. Thank you for your hospitality.
We were sorry to hear of Overseer Jackson's passing in your telegrams.
When blight hit our wheat, we lost a lot of good people. But this trade will help us get back on our feet.
As arranged, we offer you seed and parts for machinery.
In exchange, we offer you a breeder.
So, who am I marrying?
She get an option to swipe right on this?
I don't think so.
Right now.
No.
I'm Lucy. Do you have a name?
Monty.
He's hot.
Who do you suppose I
So what's your sperm count? Your vault's doctor must
Taurus.
check every physical, no? And sperm is pretty important in perpetuating America. So
No filter.
Good evening and welcome to the proud denizens of Vault 32. We are bonded, not just as neighbors, but by a shared duty to keep the candle of civilization lit while the rest of the world has been cast into darkness. Soon, if our measurements are correct, radiation levels on the surface are dropping fast enough that the next generation, Lucy and Monty's children, will be able to recolonize. Yes. Now, after 200 years, we don't know much about what's up there. Desperation, violence, lawlessness. These survivors will need to be shown a better way. I'll admit I'm sometimes afraid that mean old world will change us instead. But then I look at my daughter. And such a beautiful bride. And her new husband. And I am not afraid. I feel hope. To Lucy McLean, and to this marriage, and to hope. Let's dance. Hit it.
That husband of hers seems shifty.
Waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Yeah, that other Volt's very tattooed up, aren't they?
Yeah. So obviously they're the bad guys.
Of course they are.
So you're those people. Okay, all right. Now I know.
Right next door. You're suspicious.
All this time, right next door.
Do you eat with a knife? You might be an evil person.
Aw, cousins. Don't worry, cousin. Leslie Uggams has got you.
I loved seeing all the montage of her doing all the activities in the vault.
Great.
Jello molds.
Gotta love the Jello.
Black Jello mold.
Sign of civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Show me to my new home.
Licorice Jello.
Nothing like it.
Could be haggis Jello.
So do we think Raiders took over the other vault and are masquerading here? Is that what we're looking at?
Don't give it away, Ken!
Suspicion.
Isn't it
It's a
great?
fair suspicion.
Every big moment of our lives is gonna happen.
No, I think this is perfectly fine, and they're going to be married forever and ever, and that's what all 8 episodes will be about.
Exactly.
I'm trying to decide whether it's they got invaded or they are part of a weird experiment, which is often also.
Here it comes.
Oh shit!
Well,
Pun unintended.
I'm ready.
Hello.
that was well timed with the lips there. I sounded like it came directly from her. When your bride sounds like Mr. Bean just before you call it marriage.
Just remember, somebody else is going to have to wear that wedding gown.
Yeah, right. Well,
Get it out of there.
Oh, gross.
Don't put it through this.
There's a thought
Damn
that'll
dry
take you
cleaning.
So much for cousin stuff.
you eat on that table?
Oh boy. Meanwhile, Children of the Corn.
Meanwhile,
corny
back at the
turn.
farm.
Brother, being 2 feet tall, is able to slip past anyone undetected. Uh-oh.
He looks like he could be in Children of the Corn too. Yeah, Goldfinch.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Oh.
Holy desiccation, Batman!
This is fine.
Crop circles.
He has that Burt Ward thing going, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He does.
That's, you know what? I was trying to think of what he looked like.
Looks like the little
Uh-oh.
gremlin from Harry
Scar
Potter
tissue.
as well.
My great grandmother, I have her hobnail bedspread that's just like that.
So far, the perfect man. But wait.
There's more.
There's more.
Perhaps less.
Well, I was going to change those curtains anyway.
Classy.
Gross.
Was it a female director? We're seeing a lot of butt shots.
They knew the assignment.
Appeal to the female audience.
Good.
Hey, welcome in,
They
Raiders.
bought the tickets. They knew what they were getting into.
Medic, thank you for the raid. We are here
I say,
watching
let him crack.
episode 1 of the Fallout Amazon TV series. We're doing a watch in Discord, so once it wraps, we'll come back here. We'll be talking to everyone. But if anyone raiding in wants to join us watching in Discord as we talk through,
Big old reveal!
He doesn't have a leg.
The stand on?
Did I just dream that curtain thing? Oh no.
And you can bank that he's a one and done in the baby making department too, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely knocked up at this point. In
Oh,
time.
irradiated sperm.
I was
This
gonna
is
say,
gonna
it
be
depends
Spider-Man.
how irradiated he is.
And welcome in, Johnny. Welcome in, Raiders.
He drinks from a thermos.
All right, hang on. Sorry, I'm going to pause it for one moment here because that is just a gigantic raid. Welcome
Ooh,
in,
look at
Raiders.
that.
Yeah, thank you all very, very much for coming in. Just to do a quick introduction for everyone joining us, we're here with some of the cast from Fallout 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, as well as Kal-El, and I'm going to say Bogdanov. Did I get it right?
Director
Bogdanov. You're close.
Bogdanov, voice director extraordinaire from Fallout 4 and 76. And we're watching episode 1 of the Fallout TV show. If you want to join us and watch along, we're about 22 minutes into the 52-minute episode.
It's
so
just getting good.
It's just getting good. So if you want to join us in
Missed
in
all the
Discord,
sexy bits.
you missed the sexy bits, unfortunately.
Missed the cousin stuff.
You can watch
How
along
sexy
with
is it when he's wiping himself off on the curtains?
Well, you know,
So gross.
I don't know.
once
But it's
Blue
very
went off the
fun.
rose right there.
we're,
Something I've
fund-
never seen.
we're fundraising here for the Alzheimer's Association. It's a cause that's near and dear to that of voice actor Wes Johnson, as well as many of us here who've lost people, sadly, to Alzheimer's disease. Hey, Johnny, how are you? Welcome. So yeah, if you want to join us in the Discord and watch along, otherwise, once this wraps, we'll come back along here and share our impressions. People are going to talk about their characters and some of the work that they did in the games. Let's dive back in. And thank you for that raid, Medic. I really appreciate it.
So this is you looking at her new husband, and he appears to be irradiated.
Raiders.
Called it.
Honey, I want a divorce.
Good job.
That was a new oven, man.
That does it.
Is the oven okay?
I don't want that oven. Cute.
Atomic Queen.
Who's the atomic queen in this scene?
Just so you know,
He's going to try to poke her again.
this was the best day of my life.
Oh!
Yeah!
Bingo!
It's a large target.
Yeah, girl.
She trained her whole life for this moment.
Uh-oh.
Honeymoon's over.
Oh no!
Ruin the breakfast, friend.
Time for Stimpack magic.
Thirsty.
Yeah, girl.
That's my blender. Check. Out of my bingo card.
Not the new blender.
He's bit of flesh wound.
Just like the games, this show does not step away from violence or serious themes.
So I'm gonna need 6 takes of you getting stabbed in the neck with a broken stein. We'll pick 4.
Oh!
Stimpack.
I've had enough stabbing. Okay, one more.
A lot of poking in this episode.
Got a little Uma Thurman going on here.
Here, bro.
No, not Greg.
Someone is saying in chat, The Bride. Yes, it's definitely giving Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
That's a good costume.
It is such a good costume. Oh my gosh.
I want that costume in Fallout 76.
Oh, I know, right? That's what I was just thinking. I bet we see her at the cons, you know what I mean?
Oh, hey, it's the weird one shoulder armor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Hey, here comes the dark humor. The ironic needle drop.
Oh, you're right. Someone in chat just reminded me that the antiquated wedding dress outfit has been in Fallout 76. It's almost the exact same thing that she's wearing.
Oh, wow.
Good hit, though.
But now they need to add the stab.
When you feel her call you, across the crowded room, then fly to her side.
Get that jelly mold out of here!
Save the jelly mold!
Oh.
Well, there goes the mold.
Darn it.
Why can't we all just get along?
Some enchanted evening, some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger. You may see a stranger.
Was that cake or was he frothing at the mouth?
Toothpaste. This will hide you very It'll call back to the bomb explosion with the burning film.
Yeah.
Yeah, the production design of this is unbelievable.
That eye is totally forked.
Whoa, easy, pal. Sir, please don't make me use force.
Oops, chems.
Oh, that's gonna need a few trips through the wash.
When you find
Great stunts.
There you go. That'll teach you to eat ham with a knife.
Take my ham, will you?
So, how many eyeball wounds are we on at this point?
I think there's a high eyeball count.
The eyeball count is high.
shit!
Oh my!
Oh,
You got
nice.
ugly real
Use
fast.
some practical effects there.
We go, Dan.
Yes, die.
Come on, Pops.
Yeah, Kyle.
Yes.
Get him.
Don't.
I have a certain set of skills.
With the shovel.
I shovel really well.
You haven't played Fallout until you've beaten something to death with a shovel.
A nice golf swing.
You can tell they've gone into VATS here because it's very slow.
Yes.
Slow-mo is deadly, kids.
Jan's like, yeah, you
Do
kill
it.
that bastard.
Pickle. He's pickling them.
In the pickle barrel.
No hills have eyes, kids.
No, not the pickles.
It'll help the brine.
Dillweed.
If they killed all their crops, what makes them think they're gonna keep these ones alive? Fucking raiders.
It's all that jet, man. They're hopped up.
Please stand by.
Hey, there you go. That's
It's nice
good.
that they
That's a nice touch, yeah.
projectors just do that when they're ready.
Holy Moses.
Your typical Vault-Tec explosion.
Welcome.
I think I know who you are.
Everyone knows who I am. But do they know who they are? They are the product of one of life's tricky little choices.
We were talking earlier, the music
So I'm
in
gonna
this
offer you a choice.
series is so good.
Them
So
or her.
Ugh.
Does anybody know if any of Inon Zur's music has made it into this series at all, or
The answer to that
is it all new?
yes.
You
There's
are
an
my
Second
Easter
episode.
egg. Yep. Some familiar themes are heard in the show.
You look like your mother.
Where are you taking him?
To the real world. You should see it sometime.
Oh, wait.
What a bitch.
You tell her, Jan.
It's a good setup for a Fallout.
Oh, that'd also be a good cosplay. You have to walk around like this all day, though.
Godzilla bells and chats and Jan's reactions to everything is my life.
I've done it better myself.
Dude.
It's a hell of a start, eh, Jan?
Kill your dad.
Oh my god.
Brotherhood of Steel.
Brotherhood of Steel.
I try to make believe there's nothing wrong.
The right round of
But
people.
they're always asking me about you, darling. And it hurts me so to tell them that you're gone.
I love how they're introducing each of the characters.
Yeah.
I do too.
How's your nose?
You get a snapshot into their world.
You can still smell it. She's mostly blood.
Nuka Johnny, Jan's reactions, Alex's
Flesh is
commentary.
weak, but
I'm
steel
rolling.
endures.
I know.
Go on.
If they asked me, I guess I'd be denied that I've been unhappy all
Brotherhood of
along.
Steel.
But if they heard my heart, they'd hear it cry.
You can tell it's 50s adjacent when we got kids smoking cigarettes.
I love the Johnny Cash under this.
Yeah, Johnny Cash is cool.
One day as squires, you will help knights find and identify pre-war tech. Aspirant Maximus. Can you identify this relic?
Rotor?
Oh!
Circuit. The ability to defend yourself is but one part of your training. We are the finders and the preservers. Unless you know what to find and preserve, you are more useful as a corpse.
This part, Wes. Goosebumps.
Is it aliens?
Awesome.
They got everything in this show.
Wow, the vertebrates look good.
Reinforcements. Sweet.
Oh my god.
T60.
Imagine getting to put on one of those every day.
I wonder why they're here.
Edge of Tomorrow stole that idea for the Live, die, repeat.
Love the trail of flies.
This takes me back to Boy Scouts.
Aw.
Come on, I got something I want to show you.
Latrine duty's a two-person job.
I said, come on. Well, shit isn't going anywhere.
Oh, I didn't know that, Lady Danger. That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Look at those look at those just like in the game, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, the stand is just right.
the power armor stations.
Yeah. Who wants one of those in their garage?
Man, you got to find those power cells.
Yeah, right.
It's more trouble than it's worth.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, it's not Fallout unless one of them accidentally enters it.
This was my idea. He didn't want.
summoned. Come with me.
Every time I look at you, I fall
Every
in
shot is a
love
brick.
all over again.
Basket brick.
Oh God.
Basket brick.
Basket weaving?
It's all a little basket massaging there.
You gotta level up.
You were going for authenticity.
What's going on?
A bunch of us were chosen to get anointed.
Hey, what's your title gonna be?
Squire, tonight Titus. And get this, we're going to the wilds. Hell yeah!
You're
But our first priority has to be to maintain the security of this vault. That means not opening any of our doors.
Well said, Betty.
Yes. Thank you, Betty. Okay, let's move on.
They don't want to fight Dad. If they did, they wouldn't get to be in charge.
Small but wise. Wes, I loved his character arc in this. I keep forgetting to look up who the actor's name is. He did a great job. Oh, he was in Hannah Montana?
Thumbs
Oh,
up.
Moises Arias. Yeah, he's amazing.
He's checking the size of that explosion.
Don't lose your head.
Hey, Davey. How's your day going?
Bad as everyone else's.
You know, Jonathan Nolan definitely took on that Nuka-Cola machine when they were done.
Expected comes oil.
The elevator. Take her and Norm till I'm back, okay?
I can't. I'm going with you.
Chet.
What you're doing is insane. You don't even know which way to go. It isn't like the vault out there. It's big.
Cousin love conquers all.
You had one
anyone else
mission.
hurt on my behalf.
Hold the elevator.
Uh-oh.
Lucy.
Oh, Lucy.
Okay.
How could you?
Good night, sweet cousin.
I just tracked him. Now it'll the same to you if you try to follow me.
I'm too chicken. Thanks.
I'm bringing him home.
That was so cool.
Stop! Lucy! Are you mad?
Young lady, come back here right away!
Lucy!
I'm gonna count to 3.
Lucy, no!
Right this instant, do you hear?
That didn't work.
I love
That
it.
was the whole plan.
Xavier loved it.
That didn't work. Good mustache acting.
She can just knock to get back in, right? Right?
Should be a
Oh my
doorbell
gosh.
here somewhere.
This is fine.
Look at all those newspapers.
You're
This is not a well-maintained lawn.
All this time and nobody cleaned up the bodies.
You'd think that would have made the grass grow.
Pompeii.
Oh, dude.
That's pretty good.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's the Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was trying to see what the sign was. I missed it the first time around.
Is that what it said?
Yeah.
Oh, so they're in Santa Monica?
Yep.
Yeah, I got an LA vibe at the top, with the swimming pool and the
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
skyline.
Yeah.
Fallout Los Angeles.
That's really cool.
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Nice.
Wow.
So in between looking for her dad, she can go surfing.
It's a great kind of Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
Okie
Now we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes.
Totally.
This seems like Mirelurk territory.
Gulpers.
Oh.
I love the commercial free.
Yes.
We have given
This
you
guy.
a name, food, education, a place in the world. So, we expect you to give us the truth. Why did you join the Brotherhood?
To hurt the people who hurt me?
Oh no, the refrigerator kid.
Yeah, that's so
Love it.
I understand you're a friend of Aspirant Dane.
Yes.
You're aware of their
Really
injury.
gotta glow up.
Yes.
Do you know who did it?
No.
Your fellow aspirants say it was you.
No, I wouldn't.
Why not? Your friend was promoted, you were not. You have ambitions, don't you? Speak.
I didn't do it. I did not. I wanted it to happen. Is that wrong?
Oh no. Someone just said in chat, yes, Daddy, I'll
Yes.
speak, Daddy. Jesus.
Yes. Violence. It's merely a tool. We use it to bring order to the wasteland, but violence against a brother of steel is a sign of weakness. Are you? Weak?
I don't want to be.
You have anything else to say? In your defense,
I want to thank you. Just for your guidance and for giving me a home. I had no place in the world, so if I can help the Brotherhood make it better, Eden or whatever, even if it means giving my own life, I'll do it. And I'd be grateful to the Brotherhood for giving my life meaning.
good boy. And you will be Knight Titus' new squire.
Someone said in chat that they've made power armor properly terrifying again.
The sun helps a lot too.
It's not so bad. At least here no one steals your rations. They said I'll still have a place at the Brotherhood. I heard you got my spot.
You know who did it?
Well, I've narrowed it down to any one of those assholes.
Oh,
They asked if it was you.
still bullies even in the apocalypse.
Yeah, they asked me the same thing.
I told him you wouldn't hurt a fly.
Maximus seems slightly shifty.
Aspirant Maximus, it is your most sacred duty to protect the Brotherhood. After which, it is your most sacred duty to protect the mission. After which, it is your most sacred duty to protect your lord, Knight Titus. Do you accept?
I love with this how they've returned
by
to
saying whispering.
some of the religious elements from the first couple of games.
Our mission comes from the highest clerics in the Commonwealth.
So are they up in Lancaster right now?
The denizens of the
I'm not sure where this base is.
has escaped.
This is the whole West Coast kind of thing.
Yeah, but I
And that
was
he has
wondering.
with him
This looks to me a lot like
profound
the desert
potential.
between here and Vegas.
Yeah,
The hard salt pan.
Yeah.
Or to save it. Each night in this legion will search a section of the wild for this target. Brothers, we exist
That's the
for
sad part.
moments
Sad
such as
truth.
these. Go forth with honor, and may the shape of the future be cut by your sword.
Approximation of the target for your lord.
Oh, that's so
You're dismissed, Asper.
Dog meat.
High
Fallout.
five Napoleon's brother.
I can see Malibu from here.
Oh, junk cannon.
Oh, it's a junk jet. Yeah.
Junk jet.
I don't know which grave. Well, Slim, we looked for the freshman. Don Pedro has our friend dug up once a year, cuts some pieces off and puts them right back in the ground. Bingo.
Shit. You're telling me the supreme badass we're looking for is a godforsaken mutant?
Hell, some respect.
Is this Uncle Baby Billy?
Coworker you talking about?
Is he down on the ground?
Come on, bring him. Bring him, Uncle Baby Billy.
We have the Justified connection here.
You guys are about to see Walton Goggins become superstar.
How do we know he's not feral?
Billy's Alabama. Alabama. We brought our little friend. A feral goon can't abide a chicken. If he goes for him, we kill him.
Oh man, I'm so excited!
Yeah, Maria agreed. That one steals the show.
Aw.
Bill Brenner?
Pretty much.
Nice.
Wow.
I love he's still in his cowboy outfit.
Well, well, well. Wow, is this an Amish production of the Count of Monte Cristo? Or just the weirdest circle jerk I've ever been invited to.
Welcome back. I'm Huncho. Now, you don't even know us.
No, I do not.
Oh, there's gonna be so much good fan art of him.
Should I shoot him?
Would you shut the fuck up? We got a proposition for you. A bounty came down, a huge one, enough to be a last score for me and whoever's with me. Yeah, now somebody made a run from the Enclave.
Oh, what makes you think I'd give a good goddamn about that?
It ain't where they's running from. I figured you'd be interested in. It's where they's running to. Dead Witch, Moldaker. In California. That's where you from, ain't it? Originally, I mean.
And what the fuck would you know about where I'm from?
Well, that don't sound like gratitude, do it, boys? How about we put you right back in that hole so Don Pedro can have his fun with you for the next 30 years?
Well, I tell you what, boys. Whenever somebody says they're doing one last job, that usually means their heart's not in it. Probably never was. But for me, well, I do this shit for the love of the game.
Oh. Bloody mess perk.
In case you were wondering.
You right, friend, about one thing. This right here was your last job. My paycheck wasn't quite what you expected, but, well, you know what they say. Us cowpokes. We take it as it comes.
Chicken's like, WTF, man, what just happened?
The chicken lives.
Yeah.
Why he didn't take the chicken with him?
Jonathan Nolan.
There's going to be a
Nicely done.
baby.
Wow, yeah.
There's going
Nicely
to be
done, y'all.
Crawl out through the
Let's show some sneak peeks from the whole
the
season.
greatest
All out through the fallout.
When your white count's getting higher, hurry, don't delay.
Your white count's getting higher.
Kiss those radiation burns
Todd Howard.
That's a great lyric.
James
Crawl
Altman.
out through the fallout, baby, to my loving arms. Through the rain of strontium 90.
I'm loving this song.
Me too.
When you're at ground zero and crawl out through the fallout back to me. Why don't you crawl out through the fallout back to me?
Red Rocket.
Why don't you crawl out through the fallout back to me? Why don't you crawl out through the fallout back to
Like a pullback down Santa Monica Boulevard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Here we go.
Just you wait.
Oh. Hello there. Now, how about we turn on some lights?
You need to go home. Vault dwellers are an endangered species here.
I'm not going back without my dad.
You could have destroyed the last vestiges of civilization.
What are you looking at? A murderer in a cage? I don't know what the people of Vault 32 were up to, but it was anything but innocent.
What happened up here?
Everybody wants to save the world, they just disagree on how.
I wonder if anyone survived.
How long since you first started waste sweating? A long time.
Subway Science Center.
Are you?
Oh, shit!
Hey, you, sweetie.
It's the bad guy from Lost!
Give it a little time.
Welcome!
What the fudge?
Forget Hollywood.
What the
You're a
fudge?
product, I'm a product. The end of the world is a product.
Vault-Tec is a $1 trillion company that owns half of everything.
I guess everything's a conspiracy, right?
Unless the people do something about it.
Ain't much stage cleanup here, Vulture.
Whoa.
You'll see.
Hey.
You look out at this wasteland, looks like chaos.
Oh, wow.
But there's always somebody behind the wheel.
Fallout Los Angeles. Dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Right, let's see keep the producers going. We got a couple to see here. There we go.
Hey.
Emlyn is fun.
Yes. So that was the first episode. Hang on one second, chat. I'm going to.
As far as world building is concerned, that was masterful. We are deep into it now, and we're
Leslie
committed
Adams.
to these characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I got to run. I got a 4:00 thing that I got to get to. So I just wanted to say I thought it was freaking amazing top to bottom. Really, a lot of great fan service, but also for folks who are not fans, I think they're going to dig this show hardcore. The world building, the writing, the performances, the sound design, the scenic, everything about it, I think is just working overtime. If the next 7 episodes are half this good, they got a huge hit.
I actually saw the second episode. It's twice as good.
Damn.
Really?
In fact, if you're a fan of VATS, you get to see some VATS in action in episode 2. And it just made me so happy.
That's so sweet. Well, I got to run, you folks. Drop some cash in the hat, the virtual hat we're passing around. This is a great cause. That's why I'm here, because the end of Alzheimer's is closer than ever.
Yeah.
And every little donation makes a huge difference in stopping this debilitating disease from destroying families. So
thank
you for your generosity. Keep it coming.
Thank you, Keith.
And thank you guys for having me today. This was a
Thank you, Keith.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's an
Have a good
honor
one.
to have your pal. Well, that was pretty amazing, guys.
Yep.
Now, Kyle, you've directed folks in this. How would you have done differently with some of the
thank you,
performances?
Brandalorian.
I mean, what do you think of the
Brandalorian, thank you
performances you saw there?
Sorry, Wes. Brandalorian, thank you so much for that $200 donation. Good Lord, that's awesome. Thank you.
Oh my!
Wow, yeah.
That was
Wow,
absolute
that's so
legend.
nice.
Thank you.
Bless.
I mean, I think this was masterfully made. You know, I don't know that I would find fault with anything done here. I would, of course, love to do it myself.
Yeah.
But not because the folks doing it are not doing an amazing job. This was excellent. You know,
I haven't heard any Protectron robots yet, so I still hold out hope.
I have questions for where they're going to go with it. As I mentioned early on, the thing I think I like best about this is that like the horror of the atomic apocalypse was present, and if that gets lost from Fallout, you don't really, then all the humor does not work. Right, it has to be both.
Exactly.
If it's not cautionary, it doesn't work. But the questions I have about where this will go is, the upside of adapting such a well-traveled source material, something like Fallout, or if you're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or any of these kinds of things where they're bringing something that's very well established in another medium to the screen, the question sometimes becomes, what do you say that has not already been said in the source material? Or do you simply say the same things to a different or wider audience? It's hard to find a wider audience than a game like Fallout reaches, because we're talking, billions of people. So I'm curious as to where they will go thematically. I also would like to see a little more weird than I saw in this episode, but they only had so many, they only had so many minutes of screen time to set everything up and
Have
to
you
tell
seen
some.
episode 2 yet?
This is the first I've seen of any of it. I haven't watched a trailer. I've averted my eyes from posters because I really wanted to go in cold.
I think
and
they bring a little more of the weird, but they also bring a little more of the humor, a little more of the violence, a little more Easter egg kind of things into the second episode that they didn't get a chance to do in the first because they are world building and creating this environment so that we can all live within. And I think this is a brand new story in the midst of a very familiar territory to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But then there are some people coming into this completely cold, so they have to explain it to them as well.
Yeah, no, when I think about like, okay, you've got 50 minutes to get us to love, these 3 storylines enough to invest in 7 more episodes. Plus, you have to set up the state of the world, the tone of the franchise, what all these factions are. I mean, it's hard to imagine them doing a better job with that than they did here.
I mean, that alone,
so-
that alone, having essentially 3 A plots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
There's
it's so
plenty of
unique.
room for exploration.
There are
Yeah.
additional
Yeah.
plots to come too.
I'm
And-
glad that it is ensemble because, like, when you're playing Fallout, there's a role playing element, right? So you can choose to go all the way down the path of Brotherhood, or to be like a classic Vault Dweller, or to be a Raider, or any number of things. And I think it's a smart choice to give us a couple of different lenses to look through. Because for the people who've really played the game, they're going to want something that reflects something like the character they would build, right? So I think that's a real smart move, for sure.
The leader of the Raiders, when I first saw this, I thought she was very cold-blooded. Upon the second viewing of it, when she talks to Lucy and talks about her mother, but also tells her to come visit the upper world, I noticed a different layer to it. So they're not just giving you the black and white. What I think they're doing really well, especially with our guy Maximus, is they're showing you the grays that exist within the Fallout world.
Yeah, and I think they are attempting to engage with something socioeconomic here, have and have not, and who profits from that status quo.
Yeah.
Which, there are certainly storylines within Fallout that touch on that. Fallout is such a big tent, that, as we mentioned earlier, there's like Lovecraftian Eldritch horror floating around in that game.
Right.
And there's purely comic storylines, and there's romance and all kinds of stuff. But it does feel like part of what they are evoking here is something very timely. Who profits from discord and from a tilted playing field. And I think, as you mentioned, the leader of the Raiders there, like from the perspective of the girl who grew up comfortable inside the vault, she's a monster, but who knows what it was like to be excluded from that, right off the bat. I mean, they basically opened this thing with somebody decking his neighbor to keep him out of his, fallout shelter. And that, in a way, is kind of the whole idea in Microcosm, who gets on the lifeboat. So it's cool. It's going to be great, I
It's
think.
interesting also how Kyle MacLachlan's character, the Overseer, talks about this cruel world out there, not wanting it to change anybody, how it can change people. And I think that's something we're going to be looking at Lucy. She starts off so innocent and so pure. And if she's going to be dipping out into that world in order to succeed, how is that going to change her? How is she going to end up coming back? And I love the little previews they're showing that they're doing flashbacks that you don't get a chance to see in the game.
Yeah.
To go back and see before the war, and we get a look at the Ghoul. We get a look at the Walton Goggins character before he becomes who he becomes.
It's interesting. One gets the sense from that later on Fallout teaser at the end. Matt Berry is voicing Mr. Handy. But clearly we are seeing the person who predates that robot on whom the voice is modeled as well, because we saw footage of him as a human being, which suggests a kind of a like Wayland Yutani, like Bishop is Bishop the android, but also he's made in the model of his creator, who is a despicable corporate baron, like that. It seems like there's something floating around in there, like that. So that, I think it's certainly compelling. It's tough because like there's a huge fandom for this franchise, and they're not going to be able to be everything to everyone. They're going to have to pick and choose, right?
They're giving fan service, but they're also giving us something new, which I think is great. Who wants to just see rehashed over and over again? And Emil put out that timeline. Did you see that?
No.
That Emil put out on Twitter, talking about the timeline of Fallout, saying the bombs drop in 2077, that 76 is set the earliest in 2102. Fallout 1, 2161, Tactics, 2197. The last one, New Vegas is towards the end. You got 2, 3. Fallout 4 is 2287, but this one's supposedly taking place in 2296. So everything that has happened before in the games has happened before this. So this is a brand new storyline, a brand new world, and it's set in a familiar setting. And they're going backwards now and filling in stuff that we never had a chance to see before in the games, because once Ron Perlman tells us war never changes, we move on from there, get in the vault, get into the future, and we move on. So this is very interesting.
Yeah, I kind of don't want them to do too much fan service. Like I want it to feel organically like the world.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's what the cars look like. That's what the power armor looks like. That's all right. But like, we've done that storytelling, right? So I don't want them to just feed us stuff that we in this Zoom room have already made. You know what I mean? I want to see some new stories in this world. The involvement of Todd and Emil, and I'm sure others from the actual Bethesda team, gives me reassurance in that regard. It doesn't seem like they would want to just retread stuff they've already done. So, presumably they have influence on the project in that regard as well. But yeah, as a maker of Fallout, I want to see stuff we didn't already do. You know what I mean? I don't want them to touch into
surprise us a little bit.
Fan service too much.
I think we're going to get that because these are the Westworld guys.
Yeah.
So and the second part, the second half of this first episode, definitely I felt it, that they, there's a specific type of TV filmmaking there that is very expensive and very tight, and the way the plots weave are very well designed. So the team that they have doing it, I think for the type of sort of, for this type of genre, they're the right team.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's certainly an incredibly thoroughly realized other world. I'm curious to see how much they're going to try and keep what happens on this show consistent with the timeline of the games. Because again, with other big franchises like this, the MCU is a separate timeline from the comics, is separate from the cartoons, right? It's three different versions of the same stories being told, but they're disparate. With DC Comics, it's even more so. They'll tell different timelines even within the books, much less in the various movies and so forth. This at the moment, and Emil's timeline certainly suggests this, could fit right into the continuity of the world of Fallout. So I'll be curious to see will characters or events from the games be referenced in the show, and then will it go back the other way, right? Will we see stuff that's created here wrap back around in the games? It's the timeline on which you make a game versus the timeline on which you make a season of television is very different, right? Games are in development for a lot longer than TV and movies. generally speaking. So it'll be curious to see how those, how those things interact. It's I got questions, but I'm sure that will all be revealed.
And Wes and I have seen some more. I will say, I think to your point, I think what they've done with this was covering some surprisingly fresh new territory and new threats in a way that we haven't had before, which isn't easy to do because Fallout has been around for so long and has covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
Jan, the chat was feeling right along with you. Every pillow clutch, every like.
I'm a mess. Like I can't. Like normally, like I can't
brutal.
watch stuff.
Yeah.
But I have to like walk. Like I'll do laps, and I'm like, "How's it going?" Or I have to pause to give myself a second. So watching it and like having to like stay with it was like, whoa.
I've had to pause stress moments when things get very stressy sometimes in shows. Occasionally you pause, you breathe, you mentally set yourself and come back. That's our modern age. But being able to sit, I didn't pause this one at all through both episodes. In fact, I ate them like Lay's potato chips. I couldn't eat just one. And I wanted to do more, but I didn't want to go too far with it. And also, I needed to sleep when it got to be about 3 a.m. It's the same experience as playing the freaking game. I'm ending up all night watching Fallout like I'm sitting up all night playing Fallout and waking up the next morning completely toast.
What did you think, Jan?
Oh my gosh. It was a feast. It was so amazing. It was visually wonderful. And I just thought the acting was excellent. And I didn't personally, I didn't feel like there were any weak actors. Sometimes in a lot of series, at least recently, like there'll be like 2, 3 like main actors, and they're good. And then sometimes the ensemble can be a little weak, because I feel like they poured all the money into getting their celebrities or whatever, and not like getting their core group of actors. But these were all excellent actors. I thought it was very, very well done, and the writing's great. I mean, I cannot wait to watch more. I cannot wait to hug more pillows.
From like a acting, directing standpoint, writing standpoint, the scene with Maximus with Aaron Moten being interrogated, that was some very powerful acting,
powerful
and direction by extension. The being comfortable with silence is something that a lot of modern filmmakers, I think, don't really have a handle on. And I was very impressed that they were willing to do that, particularly in an episode that is otherwise like big and loud and stuff is happening and blood is spraying and images are overstimulating us and so forth. To be willing to sit in like a very quiet, dark scene with just a little bit of looming menace from that sound design from the power armor and just look at the actor's face, that's a confident kind of directing and acting that I don't always.
He was excellent.
What a layered performance!
So layered.
I couldn't tell whether he's guilty or whether he was not, and it
He was
could go
excellent.
either way.
Yeah.
That beginning scene too.
Was he
like another subtlety? This is the second time now that I've seen it. Walton Goggins seeing it, rejecting what it is when the nuke goes off, and then his face slowly melting into a mask of horror was such masterful control. That was some beautiful acting right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing was just amazing. How many of you were suspicious the moment that vault opened and we saw Vault 32 from behind?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, they're not going light on the foreshadowing there.
Yeah. And that guy, they're like, he's so handsome. And I'm like, he's an untrustworthy greaseball.
Yeah, the gore. We know how gory all the games are, and I was, it's they've created a nice balance of gore and a little bit of camp around it, so that you can look at it and it becomes mundane rather quickly to you. As you accept it rather quickly, just as part of the world, and it's just belongs there.
Once bits start blowing off of people and it gets gonzo, I get much more comfortable. The
Wait
scene
till you
of her
see
just her
episode two.
having like sort of the kind of marital violence, domestic abuse fight
very
that they have, that was
That
really
was
hard. It was
hard.
really hard to watch.
It
And
was.
once we start seeing, flying giblets, I weirdly I get much more comfortable because it's entered a realm of,
How-
the cartoony and the camp by that point. But woof, that the other scene was tough.
How
to
invulnerable must his boys be after being irradiated? She punched him right in the bingo spot, and he kept it going.
Hey, man, it's the chems.
Chems, yeah.
Yeah.
Chems.
Well, episode 2, when they talk about the ultra violence, there's a big battle scene in episode 2 that really it's like VATS. It's like watching VATS in the game. And I was just sitting there smiling, going, oh yeah. When I saw these moments, it was just, I got giddy at the violence and the graphic look at these things, because it was just like watching it in the game. And as I think it was you, Ken, talking about at the beginning, who was it was saying they were going through the special traits at the beginning when she's showing the type of things.
Yeah, when they were going through her stats.
Yeah.
That's the kind of fan service that really works for me.
Yeah.
Just it's doing some establishing, like, why can she fight and do stuff if she's been in a vault her whole life? We need to know that answer. But also, like, hey, if you've played the game, you know what's going on here, right? That's good. That's a nice touch.
It was really funny to see the chicks walk around pregnant. If you played the Fallout Shelter
Oh
game.
yeah, Fallout. That was very Fallout Shelter. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. I loved it. That was everything or when you're playing the game, you're like, I wish I could see what they're actually doing, and it was really cool to get to.
When this kid is born, they're going to try to get away with everything on their mother's right side.
Alex, what did you think?
Eye patch on there.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, I really liked it. I'm gonna stop watching. I've been watching X-Files marathon.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be stopped, and now I'm gonna be watching this. Baldur's Gate will be shelved, and now I'm gonna be playing this again.
Yeah.
It's the most binge-worthy thing I've seen on TV in quite some time. And they put it all out at one time, which does put a crimp in us doing this every week. But that being said, oh man, this is delicious. This is like after every episode,
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it with someone who's never played the video games. It'll be fun. But I'm definitely gonna watch it with my mom to see what she thinks, because she doesn't. I don't know. She's kind of watched me play the video game, but doesn't really care. So
Mom good with the ultra violence?
Yeah, she don't care.
The butchery scene. She's like, "What kind of game is this?"
Yeah. So I really liked it. It was so cool to get to see it live action.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I better get a Protectron. I want to see some of the weird, like 50s sci-fi tropes that appear throughout the franchise. I got to see some of that stuff.
I haven't seen one through 2 of them, and like I said, I still hold out hope that they'll be like, hey Wes, the computer, the Protectrons all sound the same. They came from the same factory. Come join us and play. One can dream.
I mean, I would hope that they would get you
I was
into
going to say
the
that. If I have
and
one
Steven
criticism,
as well. I'd like to just see a couple of you guys show up,
I had one
cameo
criticism.
style, just a
Is
little
there
something.
anyone we can write to?
And the thing is, as much as I would love to be a part of it, I love just watching it. I'm a fan of it. I was a fan of Fallout from Fallout 1 and 2 when it was top-based turn down. And when Fallout 3 came along and found out that it was being done by Bethesda, I was like psyched and overjoyed.
Yeah.
I love to be able to come out and play, but I also was coming out to play beforehand. So I probably will continue to do that.
It's so interesting with this coming to television. Fallout in its inception, like in the 1 and 2 days, in top-down turn-based, was an experiment in transporting the tropes of mid-century sci-fi and Mad Max post-apocalypse to games. Like, hey, what if can we dabble in these waters in this medium? And it's very interesting from a sociological perspective to see Fallout, which is, in some ways a pastiche of these other, source materials, being treated as a primary document for adaptation. It's really the snake eating its own tail in a certain way. It's very interesting from an artistic perspective.
That they put out, the Ultimate Edition. Have you seen how 1 and 2 look?
I have not. No.
I'm interested because
Xbox?
my initial I can't play the ones that I initially had. I have nothing that will play them anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad they're being preserved. That's one of the challenges of this medium.
Is we can buy 1 and 2 now on. They
have the whole collection in a little bomb, so you can take it out. But the thing is, it's not discs; it's cards, and you scan it. And you go on and Steam and bring it into your console or your computer.
Yeah, they released it on Xbox too with they had the 60 FPS boost, I think it is.
It's interesting with film, like you can take a film that was made 100 years ago, and make a transfer of it and put that in a projector and it'll still run.
Right.
With the interesting thing with video games is like, because many of them are rooted in technologies that are no longer in use at all.
Yeah,
and so like the process of preserving an older game like that, is harder than like keeping a piece of music or film or book alive. It requires, in some cases, almost making it again with those old assets. So I'm glad that they're doing that, because it certainly is a classic of the genre.
It does deserve to be preserved. It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And
How do you play all of? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I was going to say, poor Mike. Mike, we haven't had a chance to get to you much, and you've been very quiet and patient, sir. So Mike, what did you think?
Well, I don't have a lot of real deep insight because I'm one of those people that has never really played the game much at all. But I found it extremely vivid and a whole lot to get into there, and it was quite enjoyable.
What did you
think?
think?
What did you and Chris think about the ghoul voice of Walton Goggins?
Yeah.
Well, it was. It fit. It.
They hired Walton Goggins to be Walton Goggins.
Yeah.
So
right. And when they gave me Gob, they said, we want a guy who's this and this, but mainly it sounds like his throat's been burned away by radiation. So I gave him that, and that worked. And they told me later that they actually tweaked the graphics a little to match what they heard in the voice. So I was real flattered. But as far as all that goes, I really enjoyed what they did with it, but I can't relate it to much of my experience in the game because I'm one of those people that's like, I'm not a gamer.
Do you think you're a sexy ghoul? Because that's what Walton wants to be. He wants to be a sexy ghoul. What did you?
Yeah.
Were you guys sexy ghouls?
It depends on if you're into ghouls, I guess.
Oh, no.
Tumblr is.
But,
if you go on social media, there are people out there who are
Mike.
thirsting.
No.
Yeah, don't go there unless that's what you're after. In which case,
that's
it's
another
there for
thing.
you.
That's another thing. I'm old. See, I'm old as shit.
Don't go down that rabbit hole.
But
still, you've got your nose.
Exactly. There's that. Yeah, and back in the cocaine days, I might not have if I hadn't gotten out of that.
Boom goes the dynamite.
No.
Chris, what do you think?
It was brilliant, though. It was really brilliant.
I am extremely impressed. And I was weary, but it's so hard to come out of the gate and nail your first episode.
Yeah.
It's even harder to hold on to it, but you especially when you've got an IP that's been out for so long and has so many hooks. I thought I thought they made great choices to not define it to a particular game. And there are aspects of this first episode that pull you towards all of the games.
Yeah.
You know, at least the ones that I know from 3 to 76. So there are, there's aspects. So as far as for the fan base, I think they're very satisfied. And there's a hole right now in this type of genre.
Not just in Walt's nose.
Yeah, I pitch TV a good amount, still a little bit here and there, in a few different spaces, and you get to know what's not out there, where the holes are, and in your military sci-fi place, there's a major hole there, major hole. Since The Expanse hasn't been on TV, so this is filling a gap. Will those traditional viewers like this is obviously can go further with not only the gore but anything they want, and they will. I think we all know they will. So will people, will those traditional, I'm going way back in the tank here, but like your Babylon 5 people, are they going to like something like this? It's just an interesting thing to think about. But I think
That's why, not just the gore, but I want the weirdness, because Halo is on, The Last of Us is on. Those are both very faithful adaptations of video game source material. And The Last of Us is certainly horrifying.
Yeah.
There's no ground to be covered in terms of like bringing us the horror of one of these games, but
I think
there's
Halo's
nothing as
the only other-
strange as Babylon 5
Will we see
or
aliens?
one of those. And Fallout is an opportunity to do something that is extreme in its weirdness, in this sort of David Lynchy surreality elements, and that
the whole
real
Liam Neeson experiences, and the whole. I remember in 3 when you are in the dream sequences, or in the simulations.
Yep.
Those were really specific and
the vault where
very
it's all
well
the
done.
same guy, and the killer robot that's decided it wants to be a lover, and like the strangeness of the world is the essence of Fallout that other games do not have, and that's what I'm really thirsting for in this adaptation.
And that being said, doesn't it feel, for something that's been around so long, an IP that's been around for so long, watching this, it seems remarkably fresh.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious. Everybody on this call knows this franchise inside and out. So I would love to know. I got to find somebody who's barely heard of Fallout and who's seen the pilot and see what they think. Because it seems to me that if I didn't know anything about Fallout, by the end of this pilot, I would at least, I'd know the talking points. You know what I mean? Like I'd understand the shape of the world. They did a masterful job at catching up anybody who isn't already aware of what the universe is like.
I saw a lot
We
of
have a
people who
better feel for the
commented-
world after this one episode than I
Yeah.
think they did for Westworld when it first came out.
I would concur. Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is Fallout doesn't have. We've got obviously some fanfic that we have in podcasts. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Ken. But we don't have a lot of companion. There's no companion books.
Yeah.
There's no novelization.
Which is, I wish there was.
Yeah.
There was
Trust
one,
me.
as
As
a
a
there's
publisher
been two
now, I'm
comics.
pushing.
Yeah.
I'm pushing these powers that be that I have now actually shaken their hands. I'm kind of like, by the way, we can go right to market with this, but
I got to assume that if this is successful, I mean, Amazon is certainly no stranger to horizontal integration. So
I have to say that's
get ready.
I've been.
Why did that remind me of the
I've-
wedding scene?
I've been
I don't
in,
know that phrase.
I've been in marketing for a long time, and Amazon, as far as a PR and social and marketing activation, must have spent a fortune. This past week leading up to this, they were everywhere. I mean, they were sponsoring.
I actually knew it was coming on. Usually they don't advertise anything
it would
anymore.
be impossible to know that it was like they were everywhere. And, you know,
there's some big billboards.
Who'd ever thought that Fallout would be opening at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood? That is just bizarrely surreal.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
You know, that A&R budget, they made a good commitment to it. And I think having Bethesda as a partner in that, when you've got good high-end partners like that, it makes that company do the right thing.
Bethesda's always been good at that kind of thing. I still remember their Super Bowl ads with the power armor and having the football guy turn into the power armor
the
for
Fallout 4
Fallout,
budget
which was a
was-
great integration.
And I think that, you know, Hollywood is always looking for a way to get to a built-in audience, right? That's why so many adaptations. And you know, I think because like we're not movie stars mostly, you know, it's easy to feel like, oh, we work along in games, and then they come along and they bless it with a TV show or a movie. But like the numbers on a video game franchise like Fallout, I mean, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of people who have already engaged with this
Generational
for decades.
game.
Intergenerational. So it in a way, when we see The Last of Us, a Fallout TV show, something like that, that is the games industry sort of blessing Hollywood with an existing affinity that is very hard to develop for something that starts as a show or a film. So,
but when it turns out to be as good as Fallout is turning out to be, or the Last of Us, then it takes it to an even higher level.
well, because we're finally seeing, you know, folks who made the games be involved in the making of the show. You know, Neil Druckmann is involved in the making of The Last of Us, and it's really, really good. And, you know, Todd and Emil are involved in the making of this show, and so far it's really, really good. And that's not to shade, you know, Jonathan Nolan or any of the excellent filmmakers involved, but like, it does make sense when you're adapting something to include
Stay true to
the
the source
artists
material.
who already know how to make it great.
And to find somebody like Nolan who has the creds he has and is also a fan of the game to begin with.
Oh, he played it? Or he plays it?
He played it.
Oh, no wonder
blames
it's so good.
He blames it
Fallout
for losing a lot of his writing time.
Yep. He was obsessed
a
with
lot of filmmakers play the Fallout games because you can do such a cinematic story kind of on your own. I'm working on a project with John Carpenter right now.
Oh, wow.
And the first time I met him, he was like, "Man, I really like Fallout," and I was like, "I die." You know,
He plays
because
76 a lot still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We're in a time when instead of there used to be if a film team got a video game adaptation, they were sort of slumming it. You know, same thing with comic book movies, sort of pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was like,
Captain
I'm
America
saddled
knows
with having
something
to
about it.
adapt this trash. You know, it's one step above pornography. That's not the case anymore. They're the people who make these shows and movies very often are players, fans of the game. You know, they have an appreciation for it and they want the adaptation to be good as audience members as much as creators. So
Little known fact, Cal, the bass players that used to work on the porns also worked on those early adaptations. You know, just
I have no doubt.
Do you guys still play Fallout 76? Are you guys going back to the older ones? You do?
I play everything.
The more I work in games, the less time I have to play them. And I'm the games I am least likely to play are the ones I've worked on because I know them inside and out. You know, when you guys do your contribution to a game like this, you will know your one through thread of your character cold, but there'll be a whole lot of game you don't know anything about. Typically for those of us, Phil Bach, Chris Fowler, guys, you know, folks like us, Amanda Wyatt, people who sit in the director's chair for a game like this, like I've heard every line of dialogue. I know every quest. You know, and sometimes I want to go and see it in world to see how it was implemented. But but I'm much more likely to play something that some other team worked on that I've had nothing to do with. Just kind of see like, what is everybody else doing? What's the state of the art? You know, can I steal some tricks? That kind
That
of thing.
makes sense.
Well, we are more than out of time, but we've raised $310, which is awesome for this.
Thank you, everybody.
early
And
kickoff here.
Thank you.
this is just the beginning, by the way, of the Fallout for Hope and Voice-a-Palooza. I hope I can get some of you guys back through the month of May. And at the end, Ken had mentioned we've got special things. One of the reasons I'm wearing this hat today and crossing the streams is because we're going to be getting the ESO team, which is going to be doing a launch of a brand new chapter, are going to be coming on. We're going to have the devs, we're going to have the writers, we're going to have the people who are in charge of the whole thing. We're going to have voice actors. We're going to do a full week in the week of June 10th through the 16th that's going to be dedicated to ESO, and the ZOS, the ZeniMax Online Studio team, is going to be joining us and sometimes running it from there. So we're very excited to have them on board, and Gina Bruno's working with us on getting that done, and we're very grateful to Gina. We have so many things that are going to be coming up in May that are going to be so much fun, including our Voice-a-Palooza Prime. There are going to be radio programs. Last year we had the Death Shroud
Our
radio
old-time
program.
radio
Went
play,
over
yeah.
so well. This year there's going to be multiple versions, and a lot of the voice actors that you know and love from these games are going to be back doing this, and they're giving their time out of the goodness of their hearts to defeat the Alzheimer's disease, which, as you know, takes away the people we love before they take them away.
A reunion
And
too.
I've
Wes,
lost
of-
my mother, lost my grandmother, have an aunt dealing with it. Everybody has been touched by this.
Yeah.
And so we're coming together to do what we can to fight this thing. And we're going to fight it with funds through fun, all through the month of May, and a little bit of June. And I hope that you guys will be able to join us.
Anytime, man.
Yeah, we've got almost the full main line cast from Fallout 4 coming back for reunion to reprise their characters, which is awesome considering the 25th coming up here.
Anybody you want to play, Cal?
Sure, I'll do anything for charity. You bet.
Fantastic.
Whatever. Just
We're
let me
still
know.
trying to track down Brian T. Delaney and Ryan Alosio.
Ryan, I can get you. Ryan would love to do that stuff. Yeah, Ryan's way into it. Brian's a little bit of a harder, rarer beast. He doesn't do much public appearance, that kind of stuff. He tends to kind of keep his head down these days. But yeah, Ryan Alosio, we can get. Ryan is the guy. You were talking to Alex earlier about the Tumblr and that stuff. Ryan is a guy who came into Fallout with no knowledge of really what it was, what the fan base was about. He hadn't really done much in the way of games. He was a very good actor, but it was like a new thing for him. So we worked on the whole project. He was obviously wonderful. The game came out, and one day I got a text from him, and he was like, "Cal, they're objectifying me." Because he's one of them. He's one of the main. That character Deacon is very beloved in the fan fiction community.
Very beloved.
Poor Peter Jessup has seen the fan art of him in the pinup
God.
style with.
Yeah.
What I love is when people send you they send you their fiction.
Oh yeah.
And someone said, "I've got this piece I wrote. I think you should read it. It's wonderful. It's got both Shea Gorth and Lucien LaChance." I don't want to tell you what they were doing with each other, but I'll give you an idea. They're both me, and it basically was my high school years. So, yeah.
When people ask me to read the fan fictions, I'll say I can't tell you if I've read it or not because I don't want to answer any questions about it.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you after I'm done with my hot, scalding Brillo shower.
Hey man, I say, look, God bless you. You pay my bills, but
that's right.
Yeah.
But stay on the internet, please.
Oh, when I first started working on the game, I didn't know what it was either. Cal had to walk me through everything, telling me what chems were, or like that everyone was dead, and he would have to describe the monsters. But yeah, after that I got kind of addicted to it.
Well, we're gonna wrap things up here, and why don't we go around and tell people where they can find you, follow you, and if you want to, anything that you're working on now. We can start with you, Kal-El.
Oh my goodness, what can I talk about? Okay, I'll talk about games that are out. Helldivers 2 is one of mine, and we're all very proud of that
That's a huge success.
project. That's another one where you're like, boy, I hope they get this. Like, I hope they don't think that we're in earnest. I hope they know this is satire, but they do, it turns out, so that's great. So that Multiversus, which is a big Warner Brothers like version of Smash Brothers, essentially, is going to be coming back out at some point. They had a beta that went really well, and that's coming out again at some point. Let's see, what else? I directed a great little game for Capcom called Exoprimal, where I wrote the last draft of the script and directed all the PCAP and most of the VO, so I'm really proud of that one. It's a really fun gonzo little sci-fi story with like airships and dinosaurs both, so
cool.
get dug into that. That's, I think, gosh, that might be everything that I can talk about at the moment. But yeah, check those out. Great game teams all.
Mr. Michael Rawson, what about you, sir? What you got going on?
Let's see. Well, I find myself quite busy devoting myself to seclusion and reclusion. But other than that, you can always, you never know where I'll be. Twice a month, I'm on an open mic on Zoom. It's called Dan Mac Presents, and that's a lot of fun. And we sing and play and talk about stuff. And I'm not really doing a whole lot, but every now and then I'll pop up in some place and do something. You just never can tell.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But I'm not out pushing it a lot, really, these days.
Mr. Chris Shula.
As I'm getting a drink. Yeah, so I am now not only an audiobook narrator of 500 plus titles, but I'm now a publisher. So our company is called Leonardo Audio. We are specializing at the moment in New England-based stories for New England-based authors. And so we are developing a regional imprint in audiobooks, which is unique because if you're an independent company, most independent publishing entities have a genre basis. They focus on particular genres, say detective or detective noir or fantasy or thrillers, where myself as someone who works for the big five publishing companies a lot as a narrator, I see how the larger the company becomes, the nuance of the long form storytelling gets lost. And, so there are some stories where you can trust the narrator to do everything for you, but there are others that it's completely based on casting and or potential direction to keep that person on the train tracks. So, we care about that particular type of storytelling. And the other thing is we're guiding IP that we see a future in film, TV, docu, or gaming. We're handling some of the packaging for that too. So that's the so if people want to keep us afloat and they have Audible credits, 6 or 7 that are sitting there on their computer profile there, and they want to look for some books to get, just go to leonardoaudio.com and our titles page and click on some stuff. I'm also Boston Voice Guy on Patreon. If people want to just hear about this entire journey of me failing upwards constantly in this performance industry. Also, I have MS, and they want me to replace my right hip. So, it's a wellness journey as well. I was a wellness coach for 25 years. So there's a lot going on. So that's at Boston Voice Guy, and I'm Boston Voice Guy in a lot of the socials. So they can please feel free to follow me.
And one thing too that I did want to mention as well, we've got coming up in November. It's become kind of a yearly ritual. The Pioneer Saloon,
indeed,
out in Good Springs, Nevada, has become the place to go if you're a Fallout fan. The actual town of Good Springs, Nevada, from Fallout New Vegas, actually is a real place, and I didn't know that until a few years ago. With the actual Pioneer Saloon. So there's a huge Fallout festival that happens there every year. Every year it's been getting bigger and bigger. The Fallout for Hope team has been helping Steve, the owner, as well as a number of other people in the community really make this event kind of special. And with the success of the TV series, I can imagine that it's going to be a very busy year.
It's gonna be huge.
We're writing some skits. Skits will be written. The programming is going to be tweaked a little bit with
Are
some.
you guys all going?
Stuff. I was there last year. That was so I met all the major players, and
man!
we have an email chain right now that is planning some things.
Guys, I got to step away, but I just want to say thank you for having me. This was super fun. It's great to see all your lovely faces and hear your voices, as often I do. And see you soon.
Thank you,
Thank you so much, Cal.
Thank you.
Take care.
What about you, Alex?
Oh, what?
What you got going on?
Oh, well, you can see me on Baby Shark's Big Show as your slow friend that is also a speed horse. No, wait, a seahorse. I was recently on Bleach 1,000-Year War and Jujutsu Kaisen as some old person, I think. I don't remember. And you can also watch the Casa Grande movie on Netflix. Watch us go to Mexico, then come back, meet some gods, I think, and the last one that is just coming out is Barbie Touch of Magic on Netflix, and I'm really excited about that one. We're going for season 2. Woo-hoo! So yeah.
That's awesome.
I wish I had an ounce of your energy.
I do too, man. It's amazing.
This is just for here. I'm gonna go back to the couch in a minute and watch.
So you're saying when the camera turns off, suddenly you're like, well, that was nice.
She turns off the light. She lights a cigarette, has some scotch. Yells at people on her lawn.
Yeah, that's my pastime. Oh, if I had a lawn. I mean, I live in LA, so.
Jan, what you got going on, girl?
Alex, I love you, buddy. You're so cool. And your voice is amazing.
I love hanging out with you guys. It's so much fun.
You two, when you're in LA, Jan, you two need to have a night on the town and tear that.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine?
Dude, and we don't live far from each other. Like we were just talking before we started. So we should meet up and hang out. Yeah, I'll start saving bail money now.
I don't know what we're gonna do, but it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be something. So what can I talk about? So there's a couple things. So I'm still thankfully a part of Funhouse. And we're wrapping up season 3, but I still get to work on that, which I'm grateful for. And then I get to be a dog named Captain Fluff and Stuff on Super Kitties. I don't know if you guys have ever watched it, but it is fun. It is a very fun show. I have a very small role, but the show is super fun. And the music is really, really cool. Whoever does it, I should know who does it, but it's pretty great. And then got to work on Suicide Squad. Anybody get to work on that? It's the corrupted voice, and that was fun.
Nice.
So I don't know if you guys had this feel happen, where you work, you'll do a bunch of crazy sounds, and then you'll see the game, and it's but in the meantime, you're you're doing all these crazy things, and you're okay, this is good. But then in the game, it's but it's a job, and I am grateful. I am. So, but so sometimes after the session, you're whoa, what happened? So that kind of stuff. I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's probably all I can really talk about right now. But work's been slow. Auditions have been slow, so I'm hoping there'll be more on the pike.
Yeah. Wes.
I've got new chapters coming out for Fallout 76, where again I reprise the Protectrons, and I've got a brand new voice in there that I'm excited about. That I haven't had a chance to play before. And the next chapter of Elder Scrolls Online, which is the Gold Road, which is a sequel to Necrom, where I reprised Hermaeus Mora. And there's a new character in the Gold Road that I play that was amazingly, it was an really emotional ride. I loved it. I've just finished filming that Star Trek feature.
You look
Farragut
so
Forward.
good in Klingon makeup.
So
I'm sorry, but the makeup
I
artist.
face planted
was
after the
amazing.
first night, tripped on a dirt road,
Oh,
smashed
yeah, I
my
saw that. It
face.
was so bad.
That was, and they, the thing is, if you want to cover up a busted nose and cuts on your face, put on Klingon makeup. That covers it right up. And let's see, got a film called Sanctuary, short film called Sanctuary, filmed in LA last year, where I play the worst human in the world. And hopefully that'll be coming out this summer. And then, of course, all throughout May, we're going to be doing the Voice of Palooza charities and Fallout for Hope, raising money for the Alzheimer's Association. And this was just the tip of the iceberg here tonight, guys. I'm very excited about this. We've got so many folks coming back. The names of people who have agreed to do this are amazing, and including a lot of the folks in this room that you're seeing right here, right now. We hope to have everybody back, and I can't tell you how grateful I've been over the years. One, to you, Ken, for everything that you do in the midst of everything that you have going on in your life, to be able to dedicate yourself to make these changes for not just Fallout for
Don't you
Hope
make me
and
cry, Wes,
Alzheimer's
goddammit.
Association, but St.
Aw.
Jude's.
Damn it,
The
Wes.
surgeries that have been done for St. Jude's, this life-saving surgeries for children, just amazingly wonderful things that this community have come together to help do. I think that gamers are some of the best, most wonderful souls in the world. I got to meet a whole lot of them recently when we went out to Amsterdam for the Elder Scrolls Online 10th anniversary, and that was special, and that was so much fun. And I can't thank everybody enough. I feel blessed to be able to give back, and I can't give back without you. And you make all of this worthwhile and help us fight a dread disease. So bless you. You can find me on Twitter at Wes Johnson Voice. I'm Wes Johnson Actor on Facebook, just Wes Johnson on Instagram. And I think I'm Wes Johnson Actor on TikTok. I'm all over the place, and I'm very scattered. And I hope that you come find me, and I hope that you come right back here to Fallout for Hope in May, so that we can have fun for funds, and we're going to drop the gloves on Alzheimer's together.
Well said.
Yeah, awesome.
And if anybody is a streamer out there watching right now that wants to get involved, you can go to falloutforhope.com/join and sign up to stream with us. We usually do.
I'm part of our mighty stream team.
Every year, Wes does a little kickoff party, so we'll hang out, we'll talk video games, we'll talk characters. It's something that's a little private thing that we do in Discord, where we just kind of hang out for a little bit. As kind of a fun kickoff party. So we'll be planning that for the month of May, coming up here in a couple weeks. And thank you very much
It'll
for the
be great.
raid-in.
Ken and
Zero
I only
Period
wear
George.
Speedos and a little bow tie. So
I will not do that. Hang on one second before, because we just had a big. Let me. We were actually just winding down, George, but bless you for jumping in. We're gonna pass this party along to somebody.
Well, he doesn't want to talk about the Speedos and the bow tie. He's like, next.
All right, we're gonna pass this party along to somebody else who is on our team and currently streaming here. Let's see. Give me 1 second, and we're gonna pass the party to someone that we care about. We've got, come on, reload.
So when was that get together thing? Like
we got Fallout 76 with Shroud. Oh, Zynode. There's Zynode.
Yeah, he's streaming ESO though. I was looking for
Fallout.
Hey, you know what? Let's pass. Shroud is actually hopping back in, so we're going to pass the party to Shroud, who actually is one of the streamers that Netflix, good lord, Amazon Prime let stream the first episode, first and second episodes, I think.
Fantastic.
wow.
I gotta love Shroud.
Yeah, so jumping
The
back.
Silver Shroud approves.
We're going to raid into Shroud. Leave me alone, Renee. Oh no, I can't raid into Shroud. All right, well, he's got it blocked. So let's find.
Kazray slays.
Next
He has
one
it
down
blocked.
Yeah, sometimes.
Shame on you, Shroud.
Yeah, sometimes they don't like raids for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I don't think he needs my help. He's got 13,000 people watching him. All right, we're switching over. Let's raid into somebody who's doing Fallout 4 then. Which is... Oh, you know what? Let's do Ms. Hobo Slayer. She's on the team.
Okay.
We're going to raid in here. So raid... Ms. Hobo Slayer. Okay, cool. Raid is queued up and ready to go. And thank you all very much for hanging out tonight. And
Thank
bottom
you,
line,
all of you,
thank
and thank you, everybody who listened and watched.
And I love you too, Renee. And have a good night, everyone. Thank you all for raiding in and hanging out with us and watching. Yes, sir?
Yeah.
What?
The best of humans, Ken.
Leave me alone. No.
Thank you. No, it's true.
Absolutely. So true.
And we're raiding. Please stick around. Drop a follow to Ms. Hobo Slayer, one of the Fallout for Hope team members. And have a wonderful night. And enjoy the rest of Fallout on Prime.
Yay.
I got to roll along, folks.
Bye, guys.
Thank y'all very much.